When someone entrusts us with a case, whether it's a client hiring us directly or more often than not, another law firm bringing us in to partner in the case, we have a huge responsibility to make sure we get the full value of every case. In fact, one of our strategies for success we start every meeting off with is we need to maximize the value of every case. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean that you get $1 million in every single case or $10 million in every single case, unfortunately, because if you have a case with minor injuries, it's worth what it's worth. But we have to dig deep and find out, what is this case worth? What is the most we could possibly get on the case? And then what is our strategy for getting there? And there's really three components to maximize the value of every case. First, there is what is available resources? How much insurance is there? How big is this company? Do they have assets in addition to the insurance that they have if they don't have enough insurance? And that takes digging because they lie to you. Frankly, there's a case we got brought in. They told the referring lawyer there's only $1 million in coverage. We get involved and we quickly find out there's an additional $4 million. It's actually $5 million in coverage. When we get involved, we dig deeper, it finds out there's actually another defendant that has hundreds of millions of dollars in available coverage. So a case that two other law firms had told that client to take $1 million and they were telling that lawyer what millions all there is, that case is suddenly worth much, much more. So it's important to do the digging and not just accept what they tell you, because even though the defense lawyer might not be purposely lying to you, like, oh, well, I can trust this person. I've dealt with this person a long time. The client or the insurance company might not be telling that lawyer the truth. They do hide things, and you have to dig to find the truth on what is potentially available. The second leg is liability. How good is our liability case? And in theory, if the jury finds negligence, they're supposed to award a full measure of damages. But what I have found is jurors want to do the right thing. So if there is kind of a weak liability case, like, yeah, someone made a mistake, but they didn't do it on purpose, it wasn't a big company thing, the jurors are less likely to follow the law and allow full damages for things like pain, physical impairment, mental anguish. When a juror knows that a tragedy occurred because of deliberate choices that the company made that exposed the public to risk, then that jury is more likely to follow the law and allow full damages. And so we have to really dig in to the liability part of the case, not just what happened in the wreck, but why did it happen? Is this a case where it's happened before? That there have been other crashes similar at this company or other incidents if it's a non-trucking case? You say it's an explosion. Have they had other fires, other explosions, other workplace injuries before? Have they had close calls before? And what did they do about it? And then we have to look at, was it a deliberate safety choice? Did someone choose not to do training? A lot of times in our trucking cases, you'll find that they got audited by the government. And the government said, well, you need to train people better. You need to improve your policies. You need to improve your monitoring. And they'll tell the government that they did it because they want to keep their license, but they don't really do it. I'll give an example. We have things where oh yeah, we agree, we'll provide training to all our employees. And then they show videos in English to employees that don't speak English. That's not training. And so those are deliberate choices. They don't want to spend the money to provide the training or to provide the training of the language the person speaks or to provide proper maintenance or whatever it is. The other thing we look at liability is this something at this company that's likely to happen again if the jury doesn't do something about it? Because that is something else that motivates jurors. So this is, this driver still works there. They're still not training. They're still not watching the logs. They're still trying to cover up the wrongdoing and say, yeah, we support what this driver did. We're going to keep doing things the same way. And the only way we can change that is with a big jury verdict. So that's one big part of maximizing the case is, finding the best liability story that's most likely to motivate a jury to follow the law and allow big damages. The third thing is, what were the consequences of the defendant's unsafe choices? In a death case, what is this life that was taken away? In an injury case, we look at, what did the person love to do before? What are they left with now? What can they no longer do? What do they have to do differently? What do they have to make a choice between, I'm going to do this, but it's going to hurt, or I'm not going to do something I love because I don't want the pain, and having to make that choice and having to suffer the consequences of doing what you love because someone else made an unsafe choice. And then what's the hope for the future? How can money make things better? How can money give someone a better life? We can do that with life care planners. We do that with doctors. Sometimes we do that with just being creative by talking to the client, talking to the friends, talking to the family, and come up with ideas of, how could money make someone able to do the things they love again? So then you got to put it all together and find a winning story. And when you do, then you got to get brave. Then you got to get tough, because what's going to happen is they're going to test you. So you're going to go to mediation, and when you're younger and just learning, there's all this pressure to kind of get settled at mediation. But they don't come with all their money at the first mediation. You got to go to mediation, and they're going to offer you mediocre money. You got to walk away. And as you get closer and closer to trial, they're going to start offering you good money, but not great money, not the full value. You've got to walk away, and sometimes you got to leave millions, sometimes over $10 million on the table, walk away and start that trial. And you have to be ready to take it all the way to the verdict. And only when they see that you're in there and you're trying their case and you're kicking their butt, does the insurance company get around to doing the right thing and finally offering you the full value of your case. Sometimes you have to go try some cases and get some verdicts before they'll do that. And that's okay. But if you're not willing to walk away, if they know that you're going to chicken out and take less than full value, you'll never get full value. So again, you want to maximize the value of every case, then you have to dig deep and find the liability story. You have to spend the time and learn your client's story, and you have to be brave and walk away and keep fighting until they pay you what your case is worth.